we have a dyno day tomorrow. The RX7 is finally getting tuned, which feels like a long time coming because I started building this car in March. It is now almost the end of November. I mean, granted, it's been a huge rebuild. I mean, we completely stripped this thing down to a bare naked shell, repainted it all, redid literally everything, and now we finally get to see the fruits of our labor. I won't lie, of course I'm a little bit nervous. I'm always a little bit nervous to put cars on dynos. However, I have a good feeling about it. So, what we need to do, I'm still stressing a little bit because I don't have my spark plugs yet for the RX7 for the dyno. Those come in tomorrow morning before noon, so Melanie is actually gonna rush those down to us at Forced Induction Motorsports as the car is getting loaded on the dyno. So we are using Ryan Hendrick to tune the RX7. He did a phenomenal job with the car so far, getting it to a point where we can actually drive it. We're tuned up to about like 5-6 PSI right now. It's nothing major. So I am very curious to see how much power that this car makes. There is a couple of things we need to do tonight before tomorrow morning when we go to drive this thing down. I still have the stock headlights in this car and they're absolute trash when driving anytime during the dark, and I presume I'm not gonna be driving home until it's dark. So for now, I got a set of Morimoto 2-stroke 4.0 LEDs for the headlights. These are temporary. These scatter light from what people tell me. So if these truly are that bad, these are a temporary fix. I did order the Yuma lights that go down here, and it turns this inner running light into a projector, and honestly I feel like once these are in I won't even need headlights anymore. Engine side of things, we're all good. We have a fresh oil change in here, brand new oil filter. We are topped off on fuel. I'm gonna have to top it off again once we get down to the dyno. Brakes are bled, coolant's burped, no working fuel level sensor, so I'm gonna continue to have to fill up the car on the dyno tomorrow, which isn't a big deal. I do want to clean up the interior of the car just a little bit, but aside from that, this thing should be ready to go. So let's go ahead and start off. Let's get these headlights swapped out and adjusted because I need these to point more down or more up because right now they point straight at the ground. I will be driving the car on the dyno and Ryan will be remoted in tuning the car. So it should be quite the interesting time. My goal is really, I'm not shooting for the moon on this car. Ideally, I want like between 450 and like 500, which I think this car will do absolutely no problem. This rubber boot's gotta come off somehow. Oh, yeah, it does. Now, this might be easier just taking out the headlight. I'm just gonna take out the headlight. Where do I wanna even, do I wanna try to mount that? I feel like I'm gonna have to. We'll see. Here, see how bright this actually is. That'll just kind of hang down there for right now. LED halogen. The halogens, dude, you just can't see anything with them. At least this way I'll be able to see when I'm driving. It does look like it scatters light everywhere, but for right now I think it'll be fine. Unclip the headlight. Let me go put in the LED. That's loud. Honestly, I feel like that's not bad. I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get here. We'll turn the lights back on. What does that sound? We are looking good. Okay, well, something is wrong with it. So whenever I have to put fuel in this, I have to open up the trunk, stick my hand in through the cubby, grab the cable, which is in here somewhere, and just kind of give it a pull like that, and then this opens. It's kind of odd, but you know, it works. Did that scare you, Mochi? Come here. We gotta check the torque on all the wheels. You wanna do it, Miss Korg? I hear you're a professional, Mochi. It is the next morning. I'm grabbing all my stuff right now. We're about to head down to the dyno. It is raining, but we prepared for that. We rain-xed our windshield and we kind of have working windshield wipers. I'm just nervous. I'm excited, I'm nervous. Our spark plugs still aren't here. They're out for delivery. Melanie's gonna bring those down to the dyno to us. So we're gonna get the car down there, get it strapped on the dyno, get the cameras set up, everything, get my laptop set up. And once those spark plugs come in, I think we're just gonna jump right into tuning. I do have a fuel container with me. I need, now that I mention it, to grab a measuring cup so that way I can properly do premix. It's gonna be probably an hour to an hour and a half drive down. I'm gonna take the back roads. I'm gonna take it pretty slow. It is raining. We do have all season tires on the car, but it's raining. We have manual brakes. I'm not super familiar with the car, so I'm gonna avoid the freeways right now as much as I can. So let's get this thing warmed up and go see what happens. See if we make a whole bunch of power, if we come back sad and disappointed. I'm shooting for the beginning. I wanna come back happy and excited. So the drive down went pretty smooth. We have the SD loaded on the dyno. I just got off the phone with Ryan. We're gonna start tuning on the stock plugs until we run those out. He said they'll be fine on pump gas. Melanie is bringing down our new plugs for E85. So I'm curious to see where the car lands. Realistically, I only want like 400 to 500 in that range. I feel like anything more than that's gonna be death in this car. But I mean, we'll see what it makes, obviously. Ryan's tuner, I trust him. He's been doing fantastic. I'll link him down below if any of you fellow 13B owners are looking for tuners. Same with the guys at FIM. FIM, not FIM. Don't call it FIM. You're gonna give Fernando a heart attack. So they're letting us use their dyno over here. This is the Mustang dyno that we've realistically been tuning on for quite a long time now. So I wouldn't expect dyno jet numbers out of this thing. I would expect the numbers to be a little bit lower. So, I mean, we'll see what it does, see what it makes. I'm gonna have the head cam on. I've got a 360 cam on the back window, and then I'll have this camera set up in the front of the car. So, let's get to it. 5. All right, you want it watt or what percentage throttle? Just all the way? Okay. All right, going in it. Fourth gear, 3 to 5 again. All right. Seemed like it did a little bit better on that one. Ran into a slight issue with the not PCV, but like the catch can ventilation system of the engine. It started to up higher in the RPM once we started going up to like 8,000. It started to push oil out of the dipstick. So I was talking with Ryan. Ryan did phenomenal. We only have, I think it was 7 or 8 degrees of timing in this. We ended at 407 and 311 on pump gas at like 7 degrees of timing. Car is super happy, graph is super smooth. So, you know, I guess for right now, it gives me an opportunity to get more familiar with a rotary and with the car at 400, we'll just say 410 wheel horsepower right now. The car doesn't weigh much. It did phenomenal. No issues at all aside from the oil coming out of the dipstick tube thing, So just, I wiped most of it up, but it was all pooling up like right there above the 13B Mazda logo on each side of this. So I'm presuming it's either coming out of this part of the catch can or it's coming out of the dipstick. Either one, for safety reasons, I did not want to continue tuning the engine with oil obviously being sprayed out of it. So once we have that fixed, we're gonna bring this back down. We're probably gonna push it, we might push it a little bit farther on pump gas. I was talking to Ryan and he said after we get a proper ventilation system on here, we actually might pick up some more horsepower on this thing. So what he told me to do is go off of the rear iron and run a vent from that to a second catch can and then also vent this. So I saw the guys at Turbolone and TurboSource are making a new oil fill. The whole reason I have that little adapter fitting down there is because nothing would fit with the Turbolone upper and the excessive lower at the time when I was putting this together. TurboSource is coming out with one that will clear that stuff, so we're gonna get that ordered. We're gonna get a proper catch can and ventilation setup on here so that way we are no longer spitting oil. So let me get the car unstrapped, get it off the dyno. We're gonna head back up to the house and I wanna get some driving footage of this thing, like initial reactions of it actually tuned at that 410 horsepower, because even the car weighs like 2,700 pounds. At 410 horsepower, that's still plenty to have all the fun with that we need. So topped it off with some more fuel and premix. I need to get it off actually and clean up the dyno because there's a pretty big puddle of oil under the dyno too. Here's what we're looking at for the graph. Honestly, super smooth. You guys can see horsepower, torque both come up. They cross that 5250. Horsepower keeps climbing. Torque starts to fall off around the 6,000 to 6,500 range. You guys can see it start to come down, but it's still pretty linear going across. So this is, I mean, these are still great numbers for the setup that we have on pump gas. 407, 311 on a Mustang dyno. If you guys want to convert that over to DynoJet, I'll put the numbers like right here, but honestly, I'm super hyped with that graph. And it was my first time like driving my own car on the dyno, like tuning it like this. Obviously I wasn't tuning it, but like driving the car on the dyno was kind of fun. Put a soft limiter on it. A butthole. Holy fuck, dude. Oh my god. I don't know if I need more power. I don't know if I need more power in this thing, man. This is like gnarly. The turbo noises. We just gotta get this catch can issue sorted. We go back for E85, but I really think that this gives me a good opportunity to be able to learn this car more at 400 wheel before just jumping up to, God, dude, on E85, I don't know, 550, 600 is what I'm assuming it'll make. This is like, this feels good. Holy shit. What the fuck? Oh my god. Bro! This thing boogies! Even at 400, man, it's like if you mash the throttle, it's in boost. Like, boost. Instantly, there's no lag. Boost. That's nuts, dude. Do all rotaries have like instant boost? That's like instant. That's so fast. Boost. That's not a small turbo by any means. Honestly, I'm really happy with that Borg Warner. Bro, there's an RX-8 behind me. There's a fellow rotorer. Hello, my rotary brethren. Oh, he left. He's gone. Damn, he flew up on my ass too. Flew up on my butt and then said I'm out of here. I see how it be. Dude, the wastegate smell, you can smell the exhaust just out of the wastegates, man. It's brutal. Oh yeah, we finally have like a nice little dry area. I've been playing with the car, man. This thing is, it's like a different level. It's a different type of fun. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, compared to the Subarus are fun, don't get me wrong, but this is like a different kind. It's fascinating. Oh, why are we slamming on our brakes here? The fucking look on that BMW dude's face. Oh, his jaw was on the floor. See, rotaries bring everybody joy. They bring everybody happiness. This is like the most stout 400 horsepower. Dude, even though like 400 horsepower, it doesn't sound like a lot. I know with what we've made in past on the cars, but in something like this where it's lightweight, rear wheel drive and very driver centric, it's a whole different type of like 400 horsepower. Oh my god, dude. This is the most fun. Honestly, I'm a big Subaru guy. You guys know this, but this is like the most fun I've had with a car in a while. You don't need all the horsepower in the world. Do I like having all the horsepower in the world? Of course. Do you need it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. In true rotary fashion, it totally spit out oil again. So, like I said, this is the whole reason why we stopped tuning, because obviously that's a safety hazard. We don't want the engine to lose oil pressure and lose all its oil. And we also don't want anything to catch on fire, because obviously at a certain temperature, oil will auto-ignite. It will become flammable. So, I mean, oil is flammable, but you know, it'll actually get like hot. Look at that, dude. The full race logo on the turbo blanket turned gold. That's kind of cool. All the wastegates down there started to change color too, so you know, that's how you know things are getting hot. That is all I've got for you guys on this one with the FD. I'm actually gonna go drive this car home. I'm gonna enjoy it a little bit. It's not raining and the weather is somewhat decent. We're gonna get all that catch can stuff sorted, figured out, and get the ventilation system on this car top notch, so that way we can go back and make more power. But in the meantime, I'm gonna enjoy the car as is right now. All I gotta do is just wipe up the oil and check the oil every now and then, but I mean, that's still part of just having a rotary. I feel like it's nothing different. But anyways, if you guys are hyped with the RX7, if you're excited for how it's coming out and excited to see how much it makes on E85, go ahead and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, sight, and whatever color it turns for you. And with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.